What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another video. Today is the start of a new series, a series that I've been trying to start since like June, but I just never was able to start it because my phone was tripping. Every time I filmed it, the footage it wouldn't film and it wouldn't save, and I couldn't post it, and I couldn't edit it, I couldn't do nothing. But this is the start of a new series, and it's called the Serial Killer series. Not to be weird or anything, but I kind of like hearing about serial killers. Like, Criminal Minds is my show. If you know that show, it's all about serial killers. It's about people that go crazy and kill a bunch of people. I don't know. It's fascinating to me. I would never be a serial killer. I would never be a killer, period. Please, disclaimer. Yeah, I would never be a killer. I'm not a killer. I'm not a serial killer. Please don't think that. But I am very interested in it. So that's the thing. So yeah, now it's time to get started on this video.
Hey, 300 beats going crazy.
So the first killer that I have all my notes right here, and if I need any extra information, I do have some pulled up on my computer right here. So the first serial killer that we have is called the Casanova killer, aka Paul John Knowles. He was very young actually. He was born in 1946. And he started killing in like 1974. So he was like 30, So he wasn't just young, but he y'all gonna know. So basically he had 18 to 35 victims. And they say 18 to 35 because he claimed that he killed 35 people. But in reality, they only knew of 18. He was killing from July to November of 1974. And that's not a long time at all. It's like 4 months that he was killing, and apparently he killed 35 people in that time period, but we don't know. He didn't have a certain type of person that he killed. He killed men, women, children, old people, young people, whatever. He just killed whoever he saw, basically. He really didn't have like a memo, and he mainly killed them by strangling them and shooting them. So, a little backstory on him. He was a very bad person from like birth, basically. He started stealing at 7. His first crime was stealing a bike, in which he ran from the police, and he was just like so like over them. So he ran from the police, and apparently from his family, apparently he's never liked authority and people in charge. He's never liked the police, none of that. He's never liked people like that. So yeah, he but apparently he was very, very smart. Like, he took an intelligence test while he was in prison, and he got like the highest score of anybody ever that was in prison. Let's think about this. That was in like 1974, so it's probably like up now. No, but yeah, this was in 1974, so like over 40 years ago. So yes. And yeah, apparently he really enjoyed just like being in charge, and he once said that he was gonna be a big famous bad guy. That was something he said when he was young. So he knew from the jump that he wanted to be a killer. Like, he wanted to do crimes, he wanted to do crazy stuff. And even his sister said that he had bad tempers and stuff all through his childhood. Like, this is something that he did. So he didn't get much attention from his parents, which led to him trying to get attention at school and from his peers. And I think that's a big thing in like serial killers and stuff. Like, they just killers in period, like, they want attention, they want people to see them, they want to be known because they didn't get that at home. But apparently with him, that was his mindset all the time, not just the attention thing. He was just born, not getting attention from his parents, but like, he was just born to want to be the center of attention in general, like, no matter what. So his parents probably was paying attention to him, but like probably not enough for him, So that was a thing. So he went to school and he was horrible at school. He'd go do stuff to the teachers, do stuff to other students, which led to them sending him to the Georgia School for Boys, which I think personally led to him killing as many people as he did. Like, I think that led to him having the life that he had, because at that school they abused the kids, they tortured them, like they did all types of crazy stuff, and they actually killed kids at that school. When they closed down the school in 2011, they found over 50 remains in the building. So yeah, that was a horrible school. And imagine being a little boy going to that school. Like, even though you bad, like, you ain't that bad. You feel me? So he was horrible. He didn't know how to deal with stuff like that, I feel. So he felt like it was time for him to, like, go out and go crazy. So he started doing crime after crime after crime. At 19 is when he first got actually arrested. And at that time he stole a cop's gun and held that cop hostage for 2 hours. And then he ended up bringing him back, and after his first arrest at 19, he spent at least 6 months in jail every year after that, for burglary and theft and all that type of stuff. He loved stealing, he loved breaking into places, and a lot of his victims came from him literally, like, just wanting to steal from them. Like, okay, before he, like, started killing legitimately, like, he met a lady at a bar, and she had 3 kids, and he started hanging out with her, and he started to like her, and he hung out with the kids. He liked the kids. He took them to carnivals and all that good stuff, hang out with their family, their grandparents, all that. And then he started going back to jail again. It was a certain group of people that he always went to and always went with that, like, was the reason, like, he kept going back to jail. And I don't know what, I feel like they was doing something to him or saying something to him, because that group of people, he always went back to them and always ended back in jail every time he went back to them. So that wasn't a group of giving people. If people are encouraging you to do bad things, y'all, please stay away. So, so this group of people was, even though he got married to this lady while he was in jail, actually, like, right when he got out of jail, he married her and they moved, and then he went back to this group of people, went back to jail again. And so she was like, no, can't do this no more. She took her 3 kids and left. But during his life, like, as he was killing people, he often went back and visited her and her kids. So you can tell he definitely had a connection to them, but it wasn't good enough for him. You feel me? Weird. So his first death, his first kill was, let's see, his first recorded kill was July 26, 1974. And I say his first recorded kill because apparently some years later, y'all, this man was out, you know, he was going back and forth, stealing, back and forth in jail. And he met this divorce attorney in jail and wrote her a letter. And she wrote him back on some weird stuff. Like, I don't know, she thought his handwriting was nice, so she wrote him back. That's pretty freaking weird if you ask me. So she thought he was cool, thought he was nice or whatever. So she wrote him back. They ended up meeting, and then he asked her to marry him, and they raised money and got him out of jail. And they ended up getting married, and they moved to San Francisco. All this was happening in the Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida area. Like, most of this was in Jacksonville, Florida. Some of it was in Georgia. So they moved to San Francisco, and in San Francisco, she ended up dumping him because she just got tired of his antics and the things that he was doing. So she ended up dumping him. And that same night, he said that he killed 3 people. That's from his mouth. Nobody really knows. Nobody has any record or no evidence that he did kill these people. Personally, I believe he did because the man was crazy. But apparently he did kill 3 people. So that night. But the next day, like July 26, 1974, he went to the home of a 65-year-old lady, Alice Curtis, and gagged her. And he gagged her and then went through her house to steal money, and he got her car keys and stole her car. And apparently nobody knows if he watched her die or if when he left she died, but she had dentures, and the gag got caught in her dentures and she ended up choking on it. So she choked to death on that. So technically, did he kill her? No. But did he cause it? Yes. Did he sit and watch? Probably, So, so after he did her, it was like 3-4 days later, he saw a 11-year-old girl and a 7-year-old little girl who he recognized from being close to his mom's friends or something like that. And he was like, oh, they saw me steal a car or whatever, so let's get them. So he took the 2 little girls and he strangled their bodies and dumped them outside of town in like a river or something. 2 little kids, a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old. Like, who does stuff like that, Like, who? Are you okay? Sure, yeah. Is everything okay at home? Can't be. So, so he did all that, and then after that, it was just on and popping. Like, he just started killing. Also, in a letter in jail, he refers to himself as Bonnie and Clyde, which is really, really weird. But after that, he was killing any and everybody that he saw. At one point, he was having drinks with a man that he met and decided to choke him to death. So that was one of the men that he killed. He went into multiple people's houses. He went into multiple victims' houses and killed them. He raped, strangled, and killed a girl that he saw hitchhiking. And he decided to pull over, get her, and he raped and killed her for fun. And nobody even knew her name. She was a Jane Doe because she was hitchhiking. So, of course, she didn't have any identity on her. So they never figured out who she was or where she came from. So he killed her for fun, literally. And after that, he ended up killing multiple people. So on November the 10th, 1974, he got caught by a police officer. A police officer recognized one of the stolen cars that he had and tried to get him. He ended up taking the police officer and holding him hostage and drove away in the cop's car. And in the cop's car were already 2 prisoners. So he took those 2 prisoners and tied them up to a tree and shot them in close range. After that, he got back in the cop's car and drove, and he was trying to ram it into something so he can get away. But he ended up slamming into a tree and getting cornered by armed civilians. And he ended up getting caught, and it was helicopters all around, all the dramatic stuff that happens in movies, but it happened in real life. He ended up getting caught and surrounded, so they ended up taking him to jail, and that's when he said that he killed 35 people, but they only had evidence on 18. And then the very next day on November, was he? Yeah, no, it was on November the 18th when he crashed the car. And then November the 19th, while being transferred to maximum security, he made a grab for a cop's gun and ended up getting shot to death by FBI agent Ron Angel. And to this day, Ron Angel said that he did not want to talk about that day. He doesn't want to talk about what happened. I don't really understand how FBI agent is scared to talk about how he killed someone that was a criminal, but you never know. Never know what happened, so I'm not going to discredit his experience. But he to this day he doesn't talk about what happened. But yeah, the Casanova killer, aka John Paul Knowles, was a really, really crazy man. And his biggest dream was to be big and bad and be a horrible person. And his one thing was he didn't want to be executed. And he didn't get executed. He got shot 3 times in the chest. So he didn't want to get executed. And actually, when they caught him one time, it was like groups of people like lined up just so they can see him. And that's what he wanted. He wanted to be famous. He wanted to be known. He wanted people to know his name for what he was doing. So it was like a mind thing. So you can say he was a product of the system from like being at the group home. You can say it's because he wanted attention. You can say it's anything, but me personally, I just feel like that he did it because he knew he could, and like he knew eventually he would finally be that famous person, you know. So yeah, it's crazy. His case is really weird to me because a lot of serial killers, you're like, oh, they do it for this reason, this reason, this reason, but you really can't tell why he did it. And it was indicators from like birth that he was gonna be a violent person. I don't understand why they didn't try to get him different type of help. But then again, back then they probably didn't have type of help for that, you know. So yeah, that was him. That was his case. I don't really know what else to say about him. That's really what happened. He was just a horrible killer who did crazy stuff, and I just don't. He is one person I don't understand, because you can also say that he started killing after being dumped because he didn't like that. So but he never killed her. He actually kept talking to her like they were still friends. So you know how weird it is. Like he took his anger out on other people, but it couldn't have been anger because what was he to be angry about? Exactly. So yeah, it's weird, but that's him. That's the Casanova killer. Okay, y'all. Just want to say thank y'all for watching my first video in this series. I'm so excited to start it. This will be if I can get it out. I will do this once every 2 weeks, uploading on Sundays. My vlogs are every Thursday. This will be up every other Sunday. And then I have random videos on other Sundays and random videos on Tuesdays that I post. So yes. Thank you for watching. If you like it, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to your girl. Okay. But yeah, if you like it, for sure, comment down some serial killers that you want me to talk about or tell a story about or give my opinion about. Do that. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.